What up, guys? September 4th. This one's just going to be a general update of the day. We've had a few Q posts that we'll go through, and then there's some other articles I want to share with you. Before we do that, though, shout out to a sponsor of this YouTube channel, in Noble Gold. They're an awesome company that helps you to invest your money in precious metals. Recently, they've come out with a 1-ounce silver commemorative Trump coin. Makes an awesome gift, or just an easy way for you to start getting some metal holdings. There'll be a link to Noble Gold in the description down below. But now getting into Q's post, we're going to start right here with 2076. And basically, Q is laying out what would have gone on with the Supreme Court if Clinton had been elected. Saying here, they always thought if charges were brought versus them, versus the deep state, they would ultimately be safe with Supreme Court control. Scalia was out. Judge Scalia, who mysteriously died in the beginning of 2016. And then with Clinton being elected, she would have had her own appointments. So that would have been the end of all ends, basically the final say. The deep state would have been fully protected had Clinton gone in and them get control of the Supreme Court. Next question, did Anthony Kennedy have a choice? Meaning Justice Kennedy, who stepped down recently, a couple months ago. Did he have a choice, or was there evidence that he was shown to subdue him? Neutralize him, right? Make him step down. Was this the original plan according to a Clinton election win? Definitely not. What's at stake? Well, with Supreme Court control, of course, they go to jail. So that's why Hillary Clinton set off this huge tweet storm today that Q links here, all about Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. And look at that, just a whole host of tweets. Q says pain comes in many different forms, and this is Hillary Clinton's pain right now, trying desperately hard not to get Brett Kavanaugh nominated to the Supreme Court. Q says full control, enjoy the show. Next post here, we have a successor named to John McCain's Senate seat. His name is John Kyle, former Republican senator, named today to succeed late Senator John McCain. And Q right here, reiterating one of his previous drops, saying, think Supreme Court vote to confirm coming, no name action. Q saying, what are the odds? What are the odds that John McCain, quote, dies about a week ago, and now, of course, right before the Supreme Court vote to confirm Kavanaugh? It was all in the plan, guys, all in the plan. This right here, Q saying, add to the list. Well, we have Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel say he's not seeking re-election next year. Again, another name to add to the CEOs, board directors, very important people from not just around the country, but around the globe who are stepping down, not seeking another term, whatever the case is. And I bet you that Chicago, once Emanuel steps down, is going to become a lot safer of a place. That's my bet. 2079, Q posting a screenshot of a mom of peace here. His Twitter saying John McCain was basically a huge funder and supporter of ISIS and the Muslim Brotherhood. There you go. Post 2080, we have a photograph of Hillary Clinton wearing an upside down cross, and then Chelsea Clinton also wearing an upside down cross. And then Q says, like mother, like daughter. Post 2081, Q saying clockwork, linking this tweet about Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey saying in prepared testimony to Congress, Twitter does not use political ideology to make any decisions. And Q saying like clockwork because just yesterday, Q was saying that legal cover pre-testimony, well, that's exactly what Jack Dorsey's doing. Twitter denies the current adoption of shadow banning, political viewpoints, etc., etc. Ha! Called it like clockwork. So that's really all we've had in regards to Q today. Next thing I want to discuss is this whole Kaepernick issue. Of course, Nike recently rolling out a whole new ad campaign featuring Colin Kaepernick. And now that has cost the company over $4 billion in lost stock, in lost revenue because of the backlash. But here's what I'm thinking. I mean, Nike is not that dumb to think that they weren't going to get backlash and lose support over this, lose money. So what I think is going on is that, well, A, of course, it's a very convenient distraction. That goes to be said. But B, I think there was some stock fraud with this. Some people I saw out there saying pump and dump scheme, which totally makes sense. I mean, Nike knew they were going to lose a bunch of revenue, so I bet that there was some artificial inflation of their stocks probably going on within the last few months, and then this campaign was just perfectly timed, not only for some people, some financial barons to run and make some money with this, but then also the convenient distraction with the whole Kaepernick ad campaign, pulling at a lot of emotional heartstrings of people and fueling that whole racial divide. You see, there's many, many ways this is a very convenient narrative distraction and moneymaker as well. So that needs to be said about that. This today, Israeli in custody at Newark Airport in New Jersey after he's found with suspicious device. So they closed a whole terminal at Newark International Airport this morning while police investigated a suspicious package. An Israeli citizen came over from Tel Aviv and was flying to Florida with some weird stuff in his bag. The bomb squad seized, they're calling it a device, and they haven't disclosed the guy's identity, etc., etc. But just the other day, Q again warning us, there's always a distraction, there's always a false flag planned when they need one. And when I saw this article earlier, I thought that this could have been a potential false flag. All the hallmark signs. Of course, person coming in from Israel, was it a Mossad agent? Maybe, who knows? Flying with a suspicious device, etc., etc. So this, I felt, was worthy of sharing. We have Pope Francis embracing silence as calls grow for response to allegations. He's calling for silence and prayers. Of course he wants silence. He doesn't want anybody talking about what's going on with the church right now, right? Calling for silence and calling for prayer, which prayer is probably one of the most, I would say, misunderstood concepts. And not only that, but often used very superficially, very feel-good statement. Just call for prayer. And then people, that emotion that drives many people's thought patterns. It's exactly what they want right now. So silence and prayer is what Pope Francis calls for, but a lot of people aren't having it. I even saw a video yesterday of somebody who is at a Catholic Mass in Washington, D.C., and as the bishop was calling for prayers for Pope Francis, somebody said, "Shame on you" to the bishop and walked out. So Vatican's crumbling. People know it. People know it. And then last article I want to share with you is this. Came out a few days ago, but this just came across my radar yesterday. And it says, microwave weapons are prime suspect in ills of U.S. embassy workers. So this story has been very mysterious for quite a while now in a bunch of embassy workers in Cuba that were getting sick earlier this year. Nobody really knew why. And now they're claiming microwave weapons, which is very interesting because, of course, if you're in this whole truthing realm, you know that weapons, EMF, electromagnetic frequency weapons, directed energy weapons, etc., are used by the intelligence community. They've been used for a long time, and they're used pretty often. There's various means and methods of directed energy weapons that they can utilize, whether it's a sonic device, whether it's literally a, quote, heart attack gun or something else like that. Lots of microwave weapons out there. So to see this, and especially in a New York Times, very intriguing. Wonder what the agenda is behind this story being put out there and the attack of the embassy workers in Cuba, for sure. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share with you guys in this nighttime evening update. I'll be back in the morning and very soon with much more. Done.